Come on in, y'all. Ooh, looking rough. Welcome to a new live with Mr. 6'8". Come on in, y'all. Waiting for y'all to come in. Listen, I know I'm looking rough. I ain't got no haircuts. We gonna have to wear this hoodie for now. But just in recent news, I wanted to come on with a new video because I'm trying to promise y'all more live content. Now I got two screens to sit here and look at. So go ahead and let me give my apologies now. If I'm not looking directly at you, sometimes it's because I'm looking at two different screens. But you all go ahead and come in. Be sure to hit the share. Be sure to hit the share button and all that good stuff. But look, I was up here minding my business as usual, working my 9 to 5 when I seen the headlines broadcast that Lizzo is just in all kind of deep trouble. Now listen, I had already knew initially when she was bent over, okay? When she was bent over in front of all of the cameras showing, hey Vaughn, she was bent over in front of the camera showing her hoo-ha to the word and everything from the back, okay, with them two drum thighs. I had already knew back then Lizzo was gonna be trouble. I knew Lizzo was gonna be trouble back then when she showed up to that pool party that Rihanna had, I think it was, with nothing but a shirt top on and looking like the Michelin top man. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna be saying body shaming because clearly Lizzo said that I'm not the only person that's got issues with my body. Y'all hoes do too. Okay, so with that being said, she is currently being sued by former dancers for creating a hostile, hey Linda, for creating a hostile work environment. According to the NPR, it says as of now, three professional dancers are demanding a jury trial in their lawsuit against Lizzo, a four-time Grammy-winning artist known for celebrity body positivity, for allegedly creating a hostile work environment. Now, these allegations have included the following. It says sexual, racial, and religious harassment and false imprisonment. Now, I'm trying to understand false imprisonment well. Who she false imprisoning, first of all. I'm just trying to understand. Somebody help me to understand. Who is she false imprisoning? Okay, because she won't be false imprisoning me. But it's just me, okay? Neither here nor there. It also says that the suit brought against 35 Janice, the suit brought against 35-year-old, also known as Melissa Vivian Jefferson, okay, professionally known as Lizzo, was filed at the Los Angeles County Superior Court on Tuesday. It paints a picture of an allegedly hostile work environment in stark contrast to how she portrays herself in public. The lawsuit obtained through the plaintiff's attorneys at West Coast Employment Lawyers includes a slew of accusations against the artist, her production company, Big Girl Big Tour Incorporated, as well as the captain of her dance team, Shirlene Quigley. Now, listen, with a name like Shirlene, I believe everything Shirlene say. Even if Shirlene lying, with a name like Shirlene, I believe everything. And I do mean everything that Shirlene say. Shirlene can sit here and tell me that the sky green. I'm probably saying believe it because Shirlene don't lie. A name like Shirlene, Shirlene ain't lying. Okay. Now, if it was somebody like Brittany or Brianna, maybe, but Shirlene, no, Shirlene ain't lying. A name like Shirlene, that's a righteous, wholesome name. Shirlene ain't lying. Now it says that her captain of her dance team, Shirlene, is one of the people includes us. Let me get back on track. Includes a slew of accusations against the artist, her production company, Big Girl, Big Touring and Corp, as well as the captain of her dance team, Shirlene Quigley. Okay, let me reverse it. So I guess they are suing her as well as the captain of her dance team. So she wasn't one of the people. So Shirlene wasn't one of the people that was as far as suing, but they're suing her as well as the captain of her dance team, which is Shirlene. So maybe Shirlene is lying, but I don't want to see him believe it because Shirlene does sound like a wholesome name. It sounds like she won't be lying, but neither here nor there. It says Lizzo's former dancers Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez filed a total of 9 charges against the Grammy-winning artist and her team, spanning from the years of May 2021 to May 2023. During that time, the dancers were weight shamed, forced to endure graphic, I'm going to just put in there, explicit, denigrating behavior and preaching about Christianity and other explicit things. I'm trying to block out certain words because they cancel you on YouTube for saying certain things, and were pressured into participating in disturbing explicit shows. Okay, according to a WCEL statement. It says that the stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seemed to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly. While privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that they're not only illegal but absolutely demoralizing, WCEL attorney Ron Zambrino stated in a statement. Lizzo was dubbed the undisputed queen of TikTok by Billboard magazine last December after raking in the most video views on the social media platform in 2022. She's long been a hacker of body positivity and self-love and encouraging listeners and fans to be comfortable in their own skin. Now, it did say that NPR attempted to reach Lizzo's representatives for a comment, but a response was not received before publication. But there's a 44-page complaint that alleges that the performer doesn't always practice what she preaches. It says the lawsuit alleges that her production company and Shirlene, okay, the one that I said wasn't lying, but clearly she lying, okay? I was trying to defend you, Shirlene, but they said that you was one of the people involved in the lawsuit. But they said that her and Shirlene quickly created an intolerable, hostile work environment, which includes, but is not limited to, defendants' repeated exposure of plaintiffs to nudity against their will, and pervasive habit of sharing lewd fantasies and tales of explicit encounters. The documents detail one occasion where Lizzo allegedly pressured Davis, Rodriguez, and Williams and the rest of her employees to engage with new performers in Amsterdam's red light district, in which Davis repeatedly said she did not want to and was hounded by Lizzo. Now let me stop right there. Hey Yvette. Hey Fredera. Hey Sonia. Now let me stop right there because I know people had mentioned about this part where she had, one of these people to do all kind of acts. And some of the acts that, from what my understanding, is that she wanted them to perform lewd acts with a banana. Now, what that banana entail and everything, I don't know. Do I got some right here? I had to make sure. Okay, that's the light. But what that banana entail, I don't know. But listen, they said that she was one of her friends to be up in the club doing all kind of freaky stuff with a banana. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's in true or not, but don't shoot the messenger. Now, going forward. It says one of the complaints alleges that Lizzo aggressively confronted Rodriguez, who was resigning because of how the pop star had treated Davis. The complaint alleges Lizzo stormed towards the dancer, balling her hands into fists and cracking her knuckles while shouting all kind of explicit words. Lizzo was restrained according to the court documents, but Rodriguez feared Lizzo was going to attack her. It says another charge accuses Lizzo of falsely imprisoning Davis in a room, keeping her there against her will until she allowed tour staff to search her phone and iCloud storage. Two of the plaintiffs, Davis and Williams, first met Lizzo in March while competing as contestants on the reality show Lizzo Watch Out for the Big Girls for a chance to join the stars' live shows. Rodriguez was hired in May 2021 as a dancer for Lizzo's Rumors music video and stayed on with the dance team. Davis and Williams was eventually fired, but Rodriguez citing Lizzo's behavior, according to the WCEL statement. So basically, all of these people are saying that now Lizzo is pretty much body shaming and doing all kind of stuff to the people that she employs, basically, is what it is. Now, when I first heard the story broke, I did find it kind of hard to believe because I was like, we ain't really heard nothing about Lizzo that was really bad up until now. And so somebody had mentioned, and I like I said, I'm just the messenger, don't shoot the messenger. Somebody said that Lizzo didn't pay her Illuminati fees. Now I don't get into all of that, but they said she ain't pay her fees, so this the price she's seeing paying. But listen, I don't get into all of that because I'm a wholesome, upstanding, demure black Christian. Okay, so I don't know nothing about that Luma or the Naughty, but that's what they sit here and said. Now, with that being said, I ain't never heard a bad thing about Lizzo up until now. As a matter of fact, she had been doing good. As a matter of fact, she had done just bought a house, and I think she was actually featured on CBS. If I'm not mistaken, they had did a tour of her house, and now you have all of this stuff being thrown into the media out of nowhere. It's almost like they are intentionally taking her down. And the only issue I have with this, I'm not saying whether it's true or false. It's just that whenever somebody does this, we see it time and time again. Somebody makes a statement or a complaint saying that this person did X, Y, and Z. Then the next person comes forward and says something. Then the next person comes forward and says something. But my thing is that at the time that it was happening, that's when the person should have spoken up and said something, not waited until somebody else speaks up. And not everybody want to come out the woodwork, because I can promise you, by the time Saturday night gets here, we're gonna have about 10 other people added on to the list of complaints against Lizzo. And it just seems like to me, just this is just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not saying whether or not if it's true or false. I'm just saying that to me, it just seems like a smear campaign for some underlying motive. It seems like a smear campaign that's where she done pissed somebody off, and now it's time to pay up, is what it seems like. Because it just happened out of nowhere. Like literally out of nowhere. Okay. Now, I listen to Lizzo's music. I don't listen to a lot of it. But, for the most part, she seems to be a decent person. As a matter of fact, she was just at the Beyonce concert, and now they are supposedly saying that, her name was taken out of the "You Won't Break My Soul" remix with Madonna. Hey Val, to where I think she made a post, and the post read something like, Lizzo, she was at the concert and she was like, she had watched Beyonce growing up all her life, and to see Beyonce, hey Brenda, give her a shout out and say Lizzo in one of her songs, when she starts to call out the different names along with Grace Jones, and she sees her name flash across the billboard behind Beyonce at the concert. And now they're saying that Beyonce replaced Lizzo's name with Badu, 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 as in Erica Badu, in which we know that recently Beyonce was in the news because Erica Badu said, I guess everybody is trying to steal my style because Beyonce has a hat that looks similar esque to, the hats that Badu wear. And now, because Beyonce took Lizzo name out and said Badu, 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 they think that Beyonce omitted the name because of the fact that, with all of the drama going on. So it's just like, for me, as far as my opinion, it has to be something to do with she done made somebody mad. It's got to be a smear campaign, because it's just like every time we go through this, it's like out of nowhere, we start hearing about one complaint, then another person comes forward. Now all of a sudden we got multiple lawsuits. Now you fixing to start having sponsors moving out and backing out of sponsorship deals. And it just seems like everything just came crumbling down at once. Now, can I see Lizzo being a little arrogant? Yeah, I can. I can definitely see her being a mean girl. Now I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I can definitely see her being the mean girl. But if you are partying with your friends at the club and your friends have you to do certain things, can't nobody make you do nothing you don't want to do. So it's a lot going on. Like, I'm gonna need more details. I'm gonna need some more information and more details, because it's just a lot of things that is missing from the equation that I just need to know. Hey, Cuddy, it's just a lot of things missing from the equation that I need to know and need to get filled in on, because this ain't enough information information for me to just be making an automatic judgment against somebody who normally is not into social media. Okay. Now I also did see credit to yahoo.com. It says filmmaker says she walked away from the Lizzo's documentary because the singer was arrogant, self-centered, and unkind. It says that according to Sophia Nahil Allison, she wrote in a statement that the singer was arrogant, self-centered, and unkind. She said that, and this filmmaker, by the way, she's also Oscar nominated from Los Angeles. She wrote on Twitter Tuesday that that Lizzo demonstrated an abuse of power during their brief time together. Allison's tweet comes after, of course, the three of the Lizzo's former backup dancers filed a lawsuit against the pop star on accusations of body shaming and sexual harassment. It says that Lizzo, as of right now, hasn't responded publicly to the lawsuit or Allison's comments. Her representatives did not immediately respond to a request for comment. It says that according to what Allison said, the filmmaker, hey Brian, I sent you a message regarding the survey about the wedding thing. I don't know where the wedding is going to be at, so just PM me because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it or not. But still send me a message. But Lizzo hasn't. It says that in 2019, according to Allison's statement, she said that I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be the director of her documentary. I walked away after 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect by her, Allison wrote. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is, she said. I was not protected and thrown into a messy situation. I'm taking out some words because they too explicit. But I was thrown into a messy situation with little support. My spirit said to run as fast as you can, and I'm so grateful I trusted my gut. Allison added that she felt gaslit and deeply hurt by Lizzo, but she did not specify what happened between her and the star. Reading these reports made me realize how dangerous of a situation it was, she wrote of the lawsuit filed against the singer. She stated that, let's see, I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. But basically, she said that everything she stands for, she the complete opposite of. So, in addition to that, you got the filmmaker saying that she's arrogant. So, once again, can I believe that Lizzo is a mean girl? Maybe I can to a certain degree, but I just, I don't know how I feel about these smear campaigns, y'all. Like, I just don't know. It's just something in my spirit that does not sit right, with the smear campaigns all of a sudden out of nowhere. I can see if we had been hearing about it, but it's just like now it just seems like that this woman's empire is about to be torn down in the blink of an eye, right when she hits the plateau or the peak of it rather. So you all tell me what you all think. Do you all believe that she did what she did? Like I said, we don't know whether or not. We just only going by what the lawsuits say. If she did, I definitely pray for the victims because, I can only imagine how that must feel to have somebody to make you feel that way or do those things or influence you to do those things, and you think that if you don't do them, you're gonna get fired or whatever the case is. I can't imagine how that makes a person feel. But it just seems a lot like a lot. It just really seems like a lot to the point where it just gives me a complete headache. Like a complete headache because it's just like, girl, like really? If that is the case, like you got all this access to money, power, and respect, and you use it to do that, what this is, Cosby 2.0? No. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, girl. This ain't the season for that. You know, you supposed to, if that's the case, Lizzo, I would have just rather watched you continue to bend over for the camera one time and pull over, whoop, whoop, pull over that, whoop, whoop, too fast, rather than you sitting out here making folks do all kind of stuff with a banana. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. I guess we gonna have to sit here and wait until the lawsuits get further in to sit here and show the evidence and see what the evidence gonna sit here and be. At the end of the day, it makes me no difference because life gonna continue going on. But for the victims and stuff, I can, like I said, if it is true, I can only imagine what they're going through. So we will have to see. Okay, we will have to see. Um, but I think that's it, all that I got for y'all. It's nothing really else that I had for y'all. Now I did want to mention also, I know this was just going to be a Lizzo thing here, but I also wanted to talk about something else. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If I can't find it, I'm gonna have to share it with y'all on the next thing. I'm gonna have to share it with y'all on the next thing if I can't find it. Oh, so also, hey cream brulee. I wanted to talk about this right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says Kylie Jenner becomes the first celebrity with her own Bratz doll collection. If you can see this clearly, I don't know if you can see it. I don't have it uploaded in my screen. Now, if you look closely for Facebook, for those that's watching on Facebook, you see Kylie is a Caucasian. Caucasian. Okay? You see she a Caucasian. What these dolls look like to you? It looked like a doll with a spray tan. Okay, that doll looked mighty brown. She looks lightly baked. Okay, she looks mighty lightly seasoned. Okay, on these dolls. So I'm trying to understand. Hey, Shawana, I'm just trying to understand for the people in the back. Help me to understand. And it's no shade because I'm all for a coin and somebody having a endorsement or a sponsorship. But how is it that you got all of these beautiful, powerful, magnificent black women, women of other nationalities, women of the culture, diverse, all kind of other stuff, and you get a person who is of whatever you call Kylie complexion, I don't know what's the correct term to use for it. How do you get somebody of that complexion to represent these dolls that look almost black? Now, Lord and behold, if I'm not mistaken, what Northwest, we understand that her kin folks, North and West and South Pole and East South and uh sinner and saint and whatever else you call them. We understand that them kids are biracial. Okay, we get that. But to get somebody who is of Callie's complexion, and I understand that if I'm not mistaken, that the original Bratz dolls, I think they were already, if I'm not mistaken, of this complexion. But that makes it even more of the why y'all couldn't find nobody else that would have been a better representation, somebody culture, somebody of another, you know, this, of another, somebody like my complexion. You couldn't find somebody else, but because of the fact that Kylie has a more major following on social media, y'all just went with the first thing and said, "Oh yeah, we gonna get her because she gonna bring in the money," and that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. But y'all can't get nobody else because there's some powerful black women that's young out here. Okay, y'all could have got Taraji P Henson, y'all could have got Lori Harvey, y'all could have got who else? Y'all could have got Young Miami. I would even took Young Miami at this point. Okay, Lord and behold, even though she out here chasing the geriatric people and stuff and people with the orthopedic shoes and everything, but y'all could have got Young Miami, y'all could have got JT, y'all could have got a couple of people, but y'all done chose Callie. And there's no shade to Callie. I'm not even mad at her because well, I am partially mad at her because she shouldn't have not accepted this deal. But it's still though, it ain't even me hating on her. Hey Dorothy, y'all could have found somebody else for a better representation, okay, of them dolls. Because that just confuses me. When I look at her and I look at these dolls don't look these dolls don't look nothing like her. They look two totally different people. Skin tone. They just got the same outfits that she had on, and even the outfits ain't really on point. Okay. So I'm just trying to understand. Somebody help me to understand, because one plus one is not equaling two out here in these streets. Okay. It just ain't equaling two. But that's neither here nor there. We gonna let it go. Because listen, once again, it ain't stopping my paycheck. But I just had to put my 2 cents in because it just didn't make sense to me. I wasn't understanding the situation, and I just really could not grasp or fathom, okay, what it is that's going on. How many more minutes I got left? Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I got some more minutes left to sit here and talk to y'all. I think I got some more minutes. Let me see and shut this thing down. Hold on. Okay, I got 13 minutes. 13 minutes and go. 8:50. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to touch base on before I sign off of here, and maybe I'll do a separate thing. Maybe I'll say that for, but I will touch base on it again because somebody had made a post um in one of these things that I watched, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Somebody had made a post about Phaedra. I think it was Phaedra. Was it Phaedra? Um, no, it was Nene. I think it was Nene. It was definitely Nene because I had watched the Nene interview with the Carlos King thing, and they was talking about how Nene had said that she feel as though her team did not push her as much to become a reality star like Kim Kardashian. And I knew that she could not say her response when she mentioned it. I knew she could not say exactly what she wanted to say from a, skin standpoint, as far as skin standpoint like this. But some people was like, yeah, it's because of her skin tone, the reason why she didn't get pushed as much. And then some other people said, no, it ain't that. Nene had other opportunities. Nene Leaks, that is, from the Real Housewives. They said Nene had other opportunities, but they said it was her attitude that kept her from being as big as she could have become. But y'all need to go watch that Carlos King interview. You can type it on YouTube. I'm not sure, but if you type in Carlos King Nene Leaks, it'll come up. And it was a really good interview because it talked about a lot. She talked about her time on the Housewives. She talked about, how when they first started, she talked about when they first started, she didn't really get paid as much. Really, none of them girls got paid as much. She also took a dig at Candy. She also took a dig at Candy Burris and said that she felt like Candy was not a star and that Candy basically was just there um, to collect the check. And that I do, even though I ride so hard for Candy, I do. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I love Candy Burris. Put this on everything. But at the end of the day, looking at the current season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I do feel like that Candy is just there to collect the check. And that's that. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Because it's not really anything else for them to show with her. And plus, she has so much other stuff going on. This really is just her little extra $2 million income that she get per season, whatever it is. I'm quite sure to turn around and invest in other, things she got going on. And even watching the episodes, I can tell that she don't really seem as tuned in with the girls. Like when they do meetups or they go on trips, she don't really seem as tuned in or intrigued with the girls and stuff, because it just seems like, child, I'm just here. I'm just in the number and that's it. And I do feel like that, she just come to work, show her face, and she come to leave. Like they just went to Portugal. Candy came over there for a few days and she said, I gotta go and do a tour with Escape. And she left out of Portugal before the girls left Portugal as a group collectively. And I think that Candy is just at a point to where she knows that the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the network or the owner or the people who produce it, she know that they're not going to get rid of her because they still need somebody that the watchers are familiar with as far as on screen. They can't just make everybody be a new cast. They need to have some old blood in there too. But the question was asked if Nene would have been bigger than, or should have been bigger as Kim Kardashian. And somebody had even said that they had the same manager, but I don't think they had the same manager. But I do recall that Nene was on Celebrity Apprentice. She was on some show on ABC that came on. I think she was on, was it Glee? She was on some show. But I do recall Nene being on a lot of different things back then. And I do recall her being like a really big deal during the time of Celebrity Apprentice, or right around that era. And when I think back on it, I feel like that she did have a big star influence back then. But I think what really kept her probably was, and she was on Dancing with the Stars. What really kept her was probably her attitude. Your attitude can really hold you back from a lot of things. And I'm not saying that Nene is a bad person or mean person, but I just think that, she was a person that, came into the fame. And sometimes when fame, you get a hold of it and stuff, people tend to change just a little bit. And you definitely seen that with Nene's child. She changed like her wigs. It seemed like that the more famous she got, the more eight eye, that platinum that she used to wear, that platinum blonde in the back, the more eight eye in the back of her head used to be from all that dye and stuff, her getting that platinum. It seemed like the more famous she got, the lighter that platinum blonde and the more eight eye in the back of her head used to be fried, dyed, and laid to the side. So I definitely believe that it was her ego and attitude that probably kept her down a little. Now she did talk about having a talk show deal with Denmark Mercury, who are the same people that produced the Wendy Williams show. And she also talked about on there how that it was some kind of comment or something that happened to where her and Wendy Williams had got into it or something, and that for some reason, ironically, her deal with Denmark Mercury got canceled. It was something she had said. It was something to do with a Birkin bag, and Wendy Williams had said something about Kim Kardashian had put graffiti on her Birkin bag, but Nene can't do that. It was something to that extent, and they had gotten into it back and forth. But nonetheless, her deal with Denmark Mercury got canceled. She also mentioned that she had several other deals for talk show ideas, and those deals got canceled. And she said that she always wanted to do a talk show, but for some reason, they would talk about the deal and the deal would just disappear. Now, I don't know if that could just be a coincidence, but knowing that Wendy Williams back then, at that particular moment, the kind of woman that she was, and how much influence and how much worth value she was to Denmark Mercury, I can definitely see that that was some of the reason why she probably did not get a talk show, is because Wendy probably had them put a word into them people and had them turn around and told them people, if it's either me or her. Okay, it can't not be both. It can't be two bitches up here trying to compete. Okay, to be the queen of daytime TV. One of us got to go, and I'm quite sure that they chose Wendy Williams. But you know, looking at the whole entire interview, part one and part two, I definitely felt bad and hated to see, because you could tell at some point when they were, when Carlos King started to cry, he said that how bad he felt that Nene did not get the just due that she deserved in terms of, really making it big like she should have. And you seen Nene tear up. I did feel bad for her because I do feel like that Nene makes for good TV. But I just feel like that at some point she became blackballed. And unfortunately, just like Monique, when that happens, it's really hard for you to find work unless you really know influential, powerful people to really get you back up there where you need to be at. So I just thought that the interview, hey, what's up, Bun? But I just find that interesting though. I thought the interview was just so interesting and heartfelt. But you all definitely need to go watch it if you have not watched it. But you all leave in the comments. You all let me know what you see here and think. I'm gonna sign off on YouTube first. It's Mr. 6'8" coming at you seeing live. I'll be back at you. Peace. Okay, and then I'm fixing to sign off on